Joining me now to put a fresh perspective on some of the important news of the week is one of your favourites, Teena McQueen. Teena, lovely to be talking to you again. Ms Rinehart has written to Mark Zuckerberg, he's the boss of Meta in charge of Facebook, because he's doing nothing to stop the promotion of scams using her likeness and deceptive content on Facebook. This is breaking news. Good on her, I say. What's your response?
Oh, Cory, Mrs Rinehart's had enough, and it's not just her. It's other, highly people of a great net worth in Australia, and they do nothing. And what it is, vulnerable people are caught thinking they can make a quick buck. They look at these sites and ads and go, "Oh, Mrs Rinehart supports this," and jump in, and she feels awful that some people have been duped by this. So it's disgraceful, and she's tried many avenues, but this letter to Facebook is really asking they do something about it. She points out that Elon Musk has been able to take action on his X platform and feels that Zuckerberg should be able to do the same.
Well, Zuckerberg, of course, can censor conservative content. He can censor political thought, any dissent that he likes, all the COVID stuff. But apparently he can't put a stop to the face of our wealthiest and most successful business person in this country endorsing something that she's got nothing to do with. It's just appalling. It's corruption, yes. Social media.
Well, hopefully he'll respond.
Tell you what else is appalling.
Sorry, Cory. Yeah, hopefully he'll respond and do something about it, because, as I said, vulnerable people are being used and conned by this.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I know someone who was in the last days of their life. They fell for one of these scams. Terrible stuff. Okay, 93 people, Teena, including convicted murderers and sex offenders, have been released into the community. But we're told another 250 of these types of people might be eligible for release. You can't believe this is happening in this country. People come here, they commit terrible crimes, and somehow we have to let them out into the community.
It's unbelievable, Cory, considering in the past the Liberal government have been so strong on border protection. But I tell you what, Peter Dutton has showed his colours this week. He's had a spectacular week and is pretty much dictating sane policy for the government. So it's been a great week for Peter Dutton. But he should have had to do this, Cory. The government should have been onto this and not allowed this to... Well, there are already 83 out there. It should never have been allowed to happen.
Yeah, you're quite right. I mean, the fact that this was existing legislation, no one's to blame for it. It's gone to the High Court. So you don't have to score political points, but you can when the Labor Party didn't anticipate the result of losing a decision and didn't have Plan B in place. And I have to say, you're right about Peter Dutton, Teena. Labor caved in, agreeing to several of the coalition demands, including making ankle monitors compulsory, instead of at the discretion of the minister. So he has had a good week. He's hit his cadence. Do you reckon it's going to show up in the polls?
Oh, look, whether it shows up in the polls or not, I think he has the confidence now to stick with really good policy decisions that previous leaders in the Liberal Party have cowered to, and been afraid to implement. So I think it's a good thing. I think it will show up in the polls, but he has the confidence now to do what needs to be done for this country and try and fix things. Labor has no judgment of the community out there. They had no judgment with the Voice, and again they misjudge how scared and frightened the Australian people are of these vicious criminals being allowed out in society.
Yeah, you're quite right. Peter Dutton's had a couple of wins. This is one of them. The Voices yell at, but it's the judgment. I mean, Anthony Albanese chose Linda Burney to sell The Voice. Yeah. Peter Dutton chose Jacinta Nampijinpa-Price to say why it's bad. Who's got the better judgment? I'll leave that for everyone at home to decide, but it's obvious. I had to laugh at this, Teena, because in 2021, The Guardian boasted about being reader-funded and not billionaire-backed. But now an investigative journalist has uncovered a $12 million grant from the Gates Foundation, run by Bill and his ex-wife Melinda. That amounts to something like $123 for every physical paper subscriber of The Guardian, I think, in the UK. They're not backed by billionaires, just by billionaires' foundations. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
And look, they're so quick to filter and investigate who backs any centre-right policy forum or publication, never declaring that they've got it so easy, Cory. Absolutely disgraceful. Such hypocrites.
They are. That's the left. Teena, there was an interesting column in 9 newspapers by financial advisor Victoria Devine. The middle class, she said, once the backbone of the nation is rapidly diminishing, and that's raising concerns about a potential decline in our collective standard of living. That's something we've been talking about for a while, but there is no sign of things improving. And if we hollow out the middle class, it becomes the elites or the upper class and the working class. It's back to the old, kings and serfs, isn't it?
I think she's got a point here, Cory. I mean, people are really struggling. That last rate hike, I think, really tipped people over the edge. An area where my mother lives is slap bang in the working class, ambitious people that strive to better their lives. All bought in that area, a wonderful area. Now overcommitted. Every second house in that street is for sale, Cory, and I see that in struggling electorates all around New South Wales. It's so sad, and things aren't looking that great on the horizon just yet. I think it's only going to get worse. So yeah, I do fear for the middle class and their gradual disappearing act.
Yeah. Hey, Teena, just protect us from any complaints by Media Watch or The Guardian for landing a hit on them. We should point out that you work for Ms Rinehart, and I greatly admire her. So,
well, I do some cult consultancy work for her. Yeah, and it's an honour to do so. Let me tell you, Cory, she's an absolute delight.
Well, the fact is, she's Australia's most successful business person. We should be celebrating success in this country, not making excuses for it. Good on you, Teena McQueen. Thanks for joining me, and you have a fantastic week.